Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Grand Cruz Astrology. My name is Clayton Cruz. In this video we're going to talk about the new moon in the sign of Virgo at 25 degrees. So, new moon, sign of Virgo, 25 degrees. I like this new moon. Let me tell you why. Because I have done new moon, full moon, eclipse readings for the past few months, and it seems like every other week when I do these readings on YouTube, I'm talking about, wow, there's some things that are good, but there's a very challenging aspect here and something we need to look out for and blah, 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 blah. And so I'm happy to say that this new moon has a certain ease about it and provides an opportunity for us to really move forward with a solid foundation in our lives. I haven't, I can't remember seeing a new moon like this year, so this is nice. So let's get to it. This is a new moon, sign of Virgo, 25 degrees. Um, and it is in an earth sign. So that by itself, the new moon in Virgo. Virgo is a sign of service. Virgo likes to help. Virgo is the sign that finds its value in society by being of service to other people. It wants to understand its own value by the service it can provide to other people. And so when you have the moon there, it brings the emotional surface into that expression of service, right? So it's almost like with the new moon there, it's like we are we can feel a little more connected to any kind of work that we're doing that is service oriented. We can feel it, okay? We can feel good about it. We can feel that we are connected to it because the moon is about instinct. It's about emotion. It's about intuition. Okay, there's a very maternal aspect when it comes to the moon. Okay, it's very opposite. It can be very different from the sun, which is very intellectual and very removed and distant and even aloof in certain ways. But the moon is very involved. It's very subjective, and it can be very changeable too. But in the sign of Virgo, it is going to provide an emotional surface of care and being of service to other people. So this is nice in and of itself. But what I like about this new moon is it is going to be trine to three heavy hitter planets in the sign of Capricorn. Those three heavy hitters are Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. Now, they have been in Capricorn for the most part of the year. I mean, we had Saturn go into Aquarius, visit 0 degrees, 1 degrees, and then retrograded back into Capricorn. So Saturn left Capricorn for a little bit of the year, okay, but it's back now. It's been back in Capricorn now, and it is, in the past for most of the year, these planets I'm speaking about, along with the eclipses in this sign, have created a lot of friction, have created a lot of problems. The other planets in the sky, particularly the sun and moon, at many times during the year were not in good aspect to these planets, and it caused a lot of problems. Okay, I'm happy to say this time around they're in a very harmonious aspect. The trine is harmonious. It means that a lot of the energies that were early in the year causing problems for us on an individual level, because the sun and moon are very personal planets in astrology, and those bigger planets that were in the sign of Capricorn causing us personal friction earlier in the year, now we have that energy to work with. We have the wind at our backs. It's flowing now. So what does that mean? Well, with all those planets in Capricorn, Capricorn rules the system, if you will. It's the old guard, the tried and true. It is the power structures. It is that which we look out and say, okay, this is the order that I live within. This is the power structure that I live within, that I live under, that I'm involved in relationship with some way, because we're all involved with these power structures as individuals, okay? And Capricorn sort of represents that sort of hierarchy, all right? It represents the staircase that you got to walk up if you want to be at the top of that power chain, right? That's sort of Capricorn. It represents the hierarchy. And so with all those planets in there, with Jupiter, with Pluto's been in there for about 12 years. And so Pluto has been transforming that space. It's been completely tearing down and transforming those structures which are no longer relevant and transforming them into something new that is relevant. It's a metamorphosis process. Saturn been doing sort of a similar thing in the fact that it's been removing and ending things that are no longer relevant, and yet holding on tightly to that which is relevant, because Saturn in Capricorn will seek to find what is valuable within the system, within the structure, and it will keep to that. That which has integrity is Saturn's. That is what Saturn as an energy seeks to do, to keep what has integrity, what has value, and what will stand the test of time. And so, and then Jupiter. We've had Jupiter in there too. Jupiter's bringing a bit of hope, inspiration, goodwill. And we've kind of seen that with the COVID. You know, there was a lot of aid that went out. Okay, while Jupiter was direct, and so that's an expression of Jupiter. Okay, in the sign of Capricorn. So these planets have been there, and they've been making noise within the power structures, and at many times they've been counter or frictious in their aspect to individual people on a personal level with the sun and the moon. But this lunar cycle, this month, there is a harmony with that trine aspect. So, well, what does that look like? When we're talking about where the moon is in the sign of Virgo, it would suggest that we have an opportunity. Excuse me. That we have an opportunity to use this, use the structures, the institutions that are at our disposal at this time to further ourselves and the people around us in some way, so long as what we are pursuing and what our intention is selfless, is that sort of Virgo, putting others before self and being of service. If we have that intention, if we bring that to the table, it looks like this month that we are going to have those heavy hitters that are in the sign of Capricorn to help us. Now, Capricornian energy is going to ask us to do it with integrity. It's going to ask us to do it the right way. It's going to ask us to really take the necessary steps to manifest the vision and not just, try to fly right over the top. Okay, to do it the way that it's supposed to be done. That's Capricorn, right? So, but if we do, we can really create for ourselves, and there'll be a lot of ease and flow with that process. Whereas, not too long ago, okay, it was more frictious. It was harder to move forward with anything. Now there's a flow there. It's almost like things are coming back online a little bit, in relationship between the individual and the larger environment of power structures that we live within. Okay, so that's for this month. Okay, that's what we have going on. Now, the one challenging aspect that we do have, there's always something, right? All right, the one challenging aspect that we do have is Neptune in Pisces across from the new moon in Virgo. And so Neptune across from the moon, it's just a caution to say that keep it practical, all right? Keep it of this earth. It's very easy to get lost in lofty ideas right now with this new moon and expect that which is not realistic to be made manifest. So long as we keep grounded in our intentions and we keep it real and we keep it attainable, there should be absolutely no problem for creating that which we want. And with Neptune being involved, even if it is an opposition, there is more emphasis on that feel of service, of larger than self. Okay, whatever that means for you. Okay, whatever that means. These are just the energies that we're working with. So that's what we have. Just the energy is there. If you keep it real, if you keep it step by step, if you do it the right way, whatever your process is, it should be able to see concrete results, because we're talking about earth energy here with this trine from Capricorn. We also have Uranus trine by sign, not by degree to the moon, but by sign. So what does that mean? It just means that there is Taurus energy coming in to help, which is also earth energy. There's also a flow from the sign of Taurus, Uranian energy. So with this new moon, we may have an idea to go about uh, being of service in some capacity that is outside the box, new, something that's never been tried, something that is novel. And we have that energy there as well. Okay, this is a good time to try something new, so long as it is, um, so long as you're not shooting for the moon on this, the moon. All right, so long as you're not getting outside of yourself, you're not getting outside of what is possible, you're not you're not lost in the realm of dreamland. So long as you're keeping it real, this is a time to really try something new and to explore and to see what you can create. But just keep it earthbound, keep it practical, because this is all earth energy that we're dealing with. The only way that we can really derail ourselves is if we get into that, Neptune and Pisces energy, which is very dreamy. It's very unrealistic. Um, so just, it's one thing to be of service, but don't get into unreasonable expectations. Otherwise, it's very easy to get over into the realm of martyrdom with that Neptune and Pisces. So just keep it practical, keep it real, and you'll be fine. In fact, you should be great with this energy, working with this energy. Now, we do have Mars still. It's gone retrograde now. It's still moving very slowly. It's still a player in the sky. It is Mars rules heat. It rules fire, and things are still on fire, and that's still happening, and that is a reality. Okay, but Mars is moving retrograde. As it starts to speed up in its retrograde motion, I do see things cooling off. As I've said this before, but it takes a little time. So as best we can, let's try to keep it in perspective what we're dealing with. This too will pass. Just understand that that is there, and it is slowly but surely going to move out of contentious aspect. So that's what we got right now. Also have what I do like, and I talked about this in the last video. We have Venus that is in the sign of Leo and is picking up speed to get into a trine aspect with Mars. So though Mars in some ways has been contentious energy to deal with, it is going to provide an opportunity with Venus going trine to Mars. It looks like with this new moon in this next week or so, it's going to be a good opportunity to get to flirt a little bit. This is fire energy with the with Venus and Leo, and Mars and Aries. This is fire energy. This is a time to connect in that way, if you can, at your own, with all precautions in place, of course. But it looks like there's a time to get very personal and get very heated in a harmonious, positive, fun kind of way. Because Venus and Leo, that's a party, right? So and Mars and Aries, that's bringing that gusto and energy into that party space. So it looks like there's a very heated energy. When I see heated, I mean in a very positive, interpersonal, fun kind of way, going to be going on sort of along with this new moon. So that is there too, and that's nice. So maybe take a chance in that arena. Okay, there's a flow there. It's good. We are having. Looks like Mercury is in Libra, and it is and it's doing its thing. Let's see. Mercury is in Libra, and it is not yet going to be in opposition to Mars. But it will over the next couple of weeks. It will get into that opposing part of the sky. And so, as far as our thoughts, as far as our intellect, as far as that is concerned, it's just something to take note of, that there may be a time coming up where we just need to watch what we say. There could be some sensitivity, some flare-ups happening, and that's going to be more toward the end of the month. So, I mean, as of right now, starting at this new moon, where Mercury is, it's going to be fine. I don't see it being too much of a problem as far as in relation to Mars is concerned. But it will be square to Jupiter. And so, Mercury and Jupiter, it's not the worst aspect in the world when they're square to one another, but it just, and with the new moon in Virgo, this would speak to this as well. Just, yeah, when it comes to communications that you have on a one-to-one level with other people, this is more about practical. Meet me here at 6, okay, kind of, or like make sure you pick up this from the grocery. I'm talking about very mercurial energy on a one-to-one level with other people. Just be sure that you're clear, okay? Just make sure that you're clear, that you're hearing what others are saying and that you're being heard, okay? Because with Jupiter there, Jupiter can get very with Jupiter square to this energy, it can get very it Jupiter likes to hear what it likes to hear, and sometimes it likes to tell itself stories, and when it's in challenging aspects to Mercury. So just be sure that you're very clear with whatever communications you have on a one-to-one level with Mercury and Venus, because with Jupiter and Capricorn, it might not be received in the way that you think. So that's not a big deal. The Mercury square Jupiter energy, it's not a huge deal. It's just be a little bit more focused on what you're saying and how you're saying it and when you're saying it, and just for this week, and you'll be fine. No big deal. This is a good energy. This is a good week. I like this new moon energy. It's going to be with us here, and it's going to come into full expression. It's going to come into full expression in the sign of Aries with the full moon. And so that won't be directly conjunct Mars, but it will be close enough because it's in the sign of Aries. So the full moon is going to get a little heated, but I don't see that full moon being making too much of a ruckus. There will be some things to consider at that time. But for now, enjoy the new moon. Enjoy this time of bringing that intention into manifestation. Just keep it real. Just keep it grounded. This is earth energy that we're dealing with, and you'll do fine. And it's just as far as your communication goes, just make sure that you're hearing, and that you're hearing what others are saying, and that you're being heard, and that should go over fine too. So that's what I got for this new moon. This is good. This is kind of this is good. I don't want to say it's a break, because this is energy to use. But it seems like it's a time to really enjoy some flow, if in any way that we can. Okay, so try to put this energy to work as best you can, given your situation, and see what you can create. See what you can bring out an Aries full moon 2 weeks from now. So that's what I got. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.